On behalf of Seva International Singapore, this is Cikgu Siva again. Welcome back. We are at lesson 4 now. I hope you have been able to follow these lessons so far and tried the short exercise given in the last lesson. The answers are given today. You can check them for yourselves. As usual, we will revise the words learned so far as short sentences. Today, we will also learn how to address people more officially, as you may have to when you meet them in a more official situation. Next slide, please. All right, for practice of these sentences, I will let the student try saying these simple sentences first. Sentence 1, please.
Emak baca buku.
Yeah, we have learned these three words. Mother is reading a book. Now, what tense is this? Now, mother reads a book is also mak baca buku. So in Malay, we will learn slowly how we can change the tense. But as it is, it can be is reading or mother reads a book. Okay, next.
Dia jiran saya.
Now remember, dear is not gender specific. So it can be he or she is my neighbor. All right, jiran, we learned the word, it's neighbor. Next.
Mana anda jalan?
Now, mana was where, anda is you. You can use awak or engkau because that also means you in a more colloquial speaking way. Where are you walking? Again, jalan is walk, walking. So the sentence can be, where are you walking in the sense of continuous tense, or where, sorry, in English, I suppose that's the only way to say it, because the context is that you are asking a question as the person is walking. So, mana anda jalan? Next question, yeah.
Apa nama anda?
Now, this is easy. We know apa is what, name is nama, and anda is you. So, apa nama anda? What you need to notice here is, it is again your name and not a nama anda and not anda nama as in English. So in Malay, we switched around. Last one.
Dia guru bahasa Tamil.
All right. Dia again, no gender specificity. She or he is the Tamil language teacher. Bahasa meaning language. Tamil, of course, is the language. And guru can be cikgu also. So dia guru or dia cikgu, he or she is the Tamil language teacher. Now, using the words you have learned so far, you too can try making up some simple sentences like this and practice them. Writing them down helps you to put them together. And if you check it as we go along, you will see how the language grows with your practice. Next slide, please. Now, I said I would teach you how to address people more formally. So we have learned how to say name, but we do have addresses like Encik for Mr. and Sir. Tuan is a formal address for men. So if you go to a speech or a place where people are being addressed, they would say Tuan for formal address to men and Puan for formal address to women or ladies. And instead of ladies and gentlemen, they would say Tuan Tuan, dan Puan Puan. And in Malay, they put the male first. So it's not ladies and gentlemen, but gentlemen and ladies. All right. So Tuan is a formal address for men. Now, Cik would be Miss or a lady who is, is not married. Puan would be Mrs. or older lady. All right. Now, the student will try saying the examples that we have on the right.
Selamat pagi, Encik. Is that the one?
Yes.
Selamat pagi, Encik Tan. Mana anda jalan?
right? So Encik Tan, as in the example, means Mr. Tan. And it could be Encik Ali or Mr. Ali as well. Next sentence.
Selamat petang, Cik. Apa nama anda?
Now, good afternoon, good evening, Miss or MS or Miss, as in you know her to be an unmarried young lady. Then you say, Selamat petang, Cik. What is your name? Apa nama anda? Now, like Cik Ramla here in the example, she would be Miss Ramla. Puan Siti would be Mrs. Siti, all right? And Tuan Tuan is a formal address when you address a crowd of gentlemen. And Puan Puan would be the ladies. So Tuan Tuan dan Puan Puan, if you hear it in a speech, it's ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's try the next one. Next slide, please. All right, we all have to go to market. So it's one word, important word to know if we are in any part of the world, if we need to go to buy things for ourselves. Pasar means market. Now, hear the word correctly. I did not pronounce the R. So it's sa, pasar, right? So pasar basah. Now, basah is wet. So pasar basah is a wet market, which we find in these parts of the world, where you can buy vegetables and fish and other items sold in all in one place. And it's called wet market because generally it used to be that the floors were wet, right? So somehow we call it pasar basah. Pasar Raya would be a supermarket, which we have many of, and you can follow that with a name. For instance, in Singapore, we have Pasar Raya NTUC, Pasar Raya Giant, so on and so forth. So you put the name after Pasar Raya. Pasar Raya Pasar Malam is night market. Malam, you know, is night. Pasar Malam would be a bazaar, very common in the evening. We have some parts where they put out the stalls and we go and buy things that we like. So it's a Pasar Malam. It's a time for people to meet, chat, have something to eat, and buy things, all right? Now, we are also seeing mini markets in our neighborhood. So Pasar Mini, right? Here you see the English word being used. So Pasar Mini would be a mini market, very often in shopping in a row of shops. You see a small grocery shop and it calls itself a mini market. It's a Pasar Mini. Now, Kedai means shop. Pasar meant market. Now, Kedai means shop. So if you have a grocery shop, you say Kedai Runcit, right? Runcit. Now, again, the C has a CH sound. So it's Runcit, as in CHIT. Grocery shop or store, and it's usually the ones found in your neighborhood, all right? Now here I want to introduce you to the idea of plurals in Malay. I think I've mentioned it before. In Malay, you do not have the letter S or ES to show plural. You just say the word again. So kedai would be shops. Pasar would be markets. Buku would be many books, all right? What else have we learned? Adik would be siblings, right? Kakak would be sisters, right? Okay, so the S sound is just, the words are just written again to show plural. Okay, next. All right, we can't really form sentences without some verbs, which would be action words. So I'm choosing a few simple action words to learn for this lesson. And I will use these in the next few lessons so that you get to practice them. And they are quite common words, so you may also use them to ask for directions or to go to buy food or so on. Okay, so let's start with the first one, ajak. Aja means to teach. So can you try saying that? Aja.
Ajar.
Aja. Just like pasa, you remember, I don't pronounce the R, it's ja sound. So aja, right? Next one is chakap. Now chakap has a CH sound. So although you spell it without, I've just put the CH to give you the idea that you have to pronounce it as a CH sound. Chakap, this means talk or speak. Try that.
Cakap.
Next is datang, come,
Datang.
datang. Duduk, we have come across. Duduk is to sit.
Duduk.
Faham is to understand.
Faham.
Okay, so since we are learning language, if you say, do you understand this language? You can say, faham bahasa Melayu. That means to understand the Malay language. Main, now this one is not main, it's main, A-I sound. Main, it's to play.
Main.
Main is to play, all right? Makan, now this is going to be very useful. Makan is to eat.
Makan.
Makan. And mahu is want. I want something, it's mahu.
Mahu.
Yeah, and you want to go somewhere, it's pergi.
Pergi.
Pergi, thank you. And these few words we will use in lessons that come along so that you practice using some simple verbs in our sentences. Next slide, please. All right, now we've come to the end of the lesson 4, but here we have the answers to lesson 3's exercise. So I will read the question as I had given it to you, and the answers are in red, all right? So it is 6 a.m. Mr. Lingam meets his neighbor, Ahmad. How can he greet him?
Selamat pagi, Encik Ahmad.
Yeah, so we remember the greeting, it's 6 a.m., so it's morning. And we know Mr. Ahmad, so Encik Ahmad. Next, Mariam is a new girl from Malaysia. She only speaks Malay. Asha wants to know her name. She asks.
Apa nama anda?
Yeah, that's a very polite way of asking. So, apa nama anda? What is your name? All right, next. Mariam is sitting on a bench alone, and she sees Rani walking by looking tired. Now she says, of course, please sit. So that means
Sila duduk.
Sila duduk. And Rani replies,
Terima kasih.
thank you. All right, so please sit and thank you. Now, if you have any other answers, just check it yourself whether it is correct, or if you like, you send it in and we'll check for you. Now, fourth one, it is Harish's birthday. His friend's grandmother, Siti, stopped by to give him a gift. She says,
Selamat hari jadi, Harish.
right, so this is happy birthday, Harish, as she knows him quite well, right? So she knows his name. Now, as she only speaks Malay, Harish too knows her well, so he replies,
Terima kasih, Nenek.
where nenek means grandma. Now, it's very common for neighborhood families to call each other by their relationship. So even if it's not your own grandma, but if you meet your neighbor who is a Malay old lady, you can call them grandma. It's very polite, actually. Okay, so this is simple exercise for practice. Now, today we will see your current exercise. All right, now this is for you to translate to English. All right, Cik Lim, mana pasar raya NTUC? Next, apa kuil itu, Encik Selvan? Dia adik saya, Puan. Sila tolong saya, Cik Siti. And selamat petang, Puan. Mana kedai runcit bangsa India? Now, all these words have been taught before, Now you just put them in the right place and right order, and you will see that you have learned how to express yourself in Malay quite easily. Hope you enjoy your lesson. Thank you.
Terima kasih, Cikgu.
Terima kasih juga.